Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 898. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
All right, so what landed this morning?
We got our Rebels Season 3, the second half of the season trailer, and it was pretty damn good.
I don't really. I makes you want to get into Rebels because I was like looking at it, like, oh my god, it looks so good. So
it was probably one of the better trailers that they've had. I mean, I think that. Did you want to go and break it down?
You can break it down. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a big part of the trailer, before we get into the big thing.
That's the spoilers, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. The bigger part of the trailer, or one of the bigger parts of the trailer, had to do with Sabine, who is, for anybody who doesn't watch the show, Sabine is a Mandalorian character who is from, obviously, a Mandalorian clan. She's from one of the clans that were the villains, or one of the villains of Clone Wars. And a lot of what they showed for her in the trailer had to do with the Darksaber, which is basically a black lightsaber that the Mandalorian clan that she's from, their leader had it as like a symbol of power. And
okay.
It's a very respected prize from the Mandalorian clans.
Okay.
Basically, anybody who has it has a great deal. Like, the other Mandalorians usually give them a great deal of respect and reverence, basically. So Sabine has this. Now, originally, Darth Maul killed Pre Vizsla, who was the guy who was the head of the clan in Clone Wars. Maul killed him, and he took the Darksaber.
Mm-hmm.
Maul had it up until a couple of episodes ago, or not even a couple of episodes ago, the last episode of Rebels for the first part of the season. Sabine found it, and she took it with her.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm assuming is going to happen is they're going to Mandalore, like they show in the trailer, or not Mandalore, a planet that has Mandalorians on it, like they showed in the trailer. They went to that same planet in Clone Wars. And I guess she's going to find her mother, who is also obviously a Mandalorian. And I guess she's going to show them that she has the Darksaber and maybe try to recruit them into the rebellion or get them to work with the rebellion.
Okay.
Because there are Mandalorians who are loyal to the Empire. And there's a scene in this trailer where their leader has the Darksaber and he's fighting Sabine, who has Ezra's lightsaber. So I guess maybe he steals it and she tries to get it back or something like that. Another big part of the trailer was Thrawn. His plan is going into effect, I gather. I don't know what his plan is, but I'm assuming it has something to do with getting all the rebels together and probably destroying or trying to destroy them when they're together. We saw Mon Mothma in the trailer. But of course, the big thing was Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine as Ben Kenobi, I guess you could say, was in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And Maul found him. And it looks like they're going to fight.
Right.
So,
and he's older, so
yeah,
it's going to be more difficult for Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, if that's not a vision or some sort of dream sequence or something, if that's I think it's actually genuine. I think that's where they're going with this.
But more than likely, probably Ben Kenobi's going to kill Darth Maul.
I think he's either going to severely wound him or kill him. He's probably going to kill him because that would be the way that they write Maul out of the history of the show and of Star Wars as a whole.
But don't they all have to die? Don't Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn's going to have to die too before Star Wars technically starts?
Not necessarily. Because the big, I mean, look at Rogue One. We know that Hera and Chopper make it at least to Rogue One, and we know that Captain Rex makes it to Return of the Jedi at least. So I mean, these characters dying. I mean, it would make sense, and I think some of them are going to die. But I have a feeling that they could go the route of they're just not involved with the main story and they're doing other things around the galaxy, because that's a big part of the new canon and not only just of Rebels, but it's a big part of Rebels as well, is that we know 4, 5, and 6, that's the main story. But while that's happening, there are other important things going on in the background and
okay.
separate. So I guess you could say maybe that's what's happening there. I think Kanan, who is Ezra's master, I think he's going to die because he's been knighted, so he is a Jedi. But Ezra is technically not a Jedi yet. I think if he's not somebody important in the future, I think he could die. But I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions with Rebels left over right now.
And we don't know if this is the last season. It could be next year too, right?
I think they're going to have one more season.
Okay.
I think they're going to go to season 4, and I think that's going to be.
Because don't they have another animated thing planned or something?
That's the rumor, is that they have another animated show planned, and the rumor is right now it takes place between 6 and 7.
Yeah. So it'll be like Luke, Leia, Han.
Hopefully.
Wow, that's cool.
Because like I've been saying, after episode 8, I think we're going to get so much stuff with Luke, because I think they're going to finally say, okay, here's exactly what he was doing between 6 and 7, and they're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's going to be mostly novels, maybe comic books and stuff. But to be honest, if they said, listen, we're just going to do an animated show, I think that would be like ratings through the roof. And if they do a show focusing on Luke between 6 and 7, I think you have to make each episode an hour long, and you have to put a lot of effort into it to make it good.
Right.
But I don't think that's what the show is going to be about. But it is possible, so who knows?
Now, we also found out today that Rogue One has so far, as of Tuesday, 817 million worldwide.
Damn.
That's crazy. And if you factor, I guess, Empire Strikes Back with inflation, I guess Empire would be 838 million or something like that.
Sure.
So it more than likely is going to surpass that by the weekend. I mean, we're really looking at how much is it going to make before we get to China numbers, because it's probably going to be like 850 or 870 before China comes in. And, of course, it's going to go well over $1 billion. But everybody's trying to see what's going to knock it out of the number 1 spot, which I think pretty much it's still going to be number 1 this week, even though Underworld 5 comes out. And, yes, I'm a fan of Underworld, but that's no...
Yeah, it's not even gonna come close.
And I don't think next week too, I don't think there's anything. I don't really see anything in January at all, like knocking it out. But of course, it's going to drop anyway, because eventually things do drop. I mean, Lost in Space of all movies knocked Titanic out, and that wasn't really that great of a movie anyway. So it doesn't really matter at that point. But it's not going to touch Force Awakens numbers. It's not going to reach 2 billion, I don't think.
Well, speaking of The Force Awakens, did you notice or did you hear that it was the 10th highest grossing movie of last year? The Force Awakens.
It was huge. Yeah.
I mean,
that's nuts. I mean, it didn't do 2 billion.
I think it got around there, yeah.
I mean, so then it's Avatar, it's Titanic, and then it's Force Awakens. It's the third.
Globally, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah. I think domestically it is the highest grossing movie.
Yeah.
In history. Domestic.
Yeah, 936 or something, right? 130, whatever. Yeah.
It went crazy.
Well, Force Awakens too is I don't know how much domestic it's going to do, but it's not stopping really.
You mean Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue One. What is that?
Yeah. You said Force Awakens.
I'm sorry, Rogue One. Rogue One. It's, what is it, 445?
I don't know exactly, but that sounds about right. I mean,
something like that. Yeah. All right. So we have that. What else Star Wars? Anything with Episode 8? You want to talk about the Han Solo thing or not?
Yeah. Woody Harrelson apparently is being eyed to be Han Solo's mentor in the Han Solo film, which I think is a great choice. I like Woody Harrelson. So yeah. I heard that they were also looking at Christian Bale for the same role, but I don't think that they decided on him. But I liked it. I think
December. It's not coming out in May. So
yeah.
Which that's probably the way it's going to be set.
It's fine with me. I mean, I think they're gonna just make them in December unless they start doing 2 movies a year.
I don't think 2 movies a year is going to happen, only
I hope not.
because Marvel, there's going to be a conflict because Marvel has so many movies throughout the year now,
Right. Yeah.
and it would interfere definitely with it would be them fighting themselves, and I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen. So, if Star Wars stuck to December and Marvel movies 2 a year, I think it is, right?
It's
Basically,
3 a year now.
3 year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Thor: Ragnarok
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And the next year is like what, Infinity War and Black Panther and Ant-Man and the Wasp or something.
Yeah, something
Like that. Or I could be wrong. Maybe there's 4 next year. I mean,
I don't think there's 4.
is that 4?
I'm not sure. I haven't. To be honest with you, this is gonna sound bad, but with Star Wars coming out and whatnot, I'm kind of losing interest in the Marvel thing.
Mm.
Not like completely. Like I'm still excited for them,
Right.
but where Marvel used to be like on the top of my list
Right.
or close to it, it's kind of fallen down a few rungs because I'm so much more interested in Star Wars and of course the Godzilla universe. But like with Star Wars, that's the top of my list right now. Like whenever I get news on that, I'm like, let's go. With Marvel, I'm still excited to see them, but they're not as important to me as they used to be.
Right. See, I want to do. I don't know about tonight, but I want to do a cast. I was saying we're going to do it about the comics.
Yeah,
and about that's a big story that we have to cover, but it's a doozy. I don't know how long I'm going to spend on that one. Look forward to that one on the Everything Show.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're going to basically show the most recent numbers we have is November.
Right.
Because we won't have the December numbers until I think another week or so. But there's problems going on. Again, Marvel is putting a nice smile on their face, but it's fake because all these changes that they've done that we've complained about, it looks like other people are not happy either, meaning the majority of the fan base. And when the majority of the fan base is not going along with the, Marvel Comics, it will say it all in the top 100. Yeah. So that's a big story we're going to be working on. That's it for this one. So thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.